Okay, so I've had the honor of collaborating with multiple horror content creators over, I don't know, the last year or so. So in this video, we look back at some of their reactions and responses to the Gore scale, providing a unique perspective on some of these classic 80s horror films, all based on their seasoned opinions. But at the end of the day, this is just me showing love to the horror community that I'm thankful to be a part of. Welcome to this episode of Blood Brews. On the Gore scale, I don't know if you've seen this before, but we're rating basically how gory this film is, from dry all the way up to slaughterhouse. Now, I have one of these chosen for me, but I'm kind of curious what you would choose.
I suppose I would just go bloody, just under savage. Yeah.
Bloody. All right. Yeah. I would also choose bloody. I didn't feel like it was anything over the top or crazy, but it was enough to just get your point across.
Yeah. And again, I bring up the practical effects. There's this one particular scene where the camera hits a guy who had his brains eaten. There's like a effect where brains are like pulling out of his head. Like, that's why I love the movie so much. But yeah, like just bloody. Seen worse.
On the Gore scale,
okay,
what would you give this film, bloody wise? Like, I want to let you score it first and tell me what you think, and then I just want to see if we like agree, because I already have one like pre-picked in my brain. Now, if you need help seeing what this actually says,
I see it. I'm there, and I gotta say, the upper levels is not where I'm looking. No. It's certainly not a slaughterhouse or grisly. It's not savage. Bloody feels like I'm getting I'm playing a game of hot and cold as I go down, and honestly, I'm fucking, I think I'm at blood, just blood, or what's that say next to it? Bloodthirst.
It's bloodthirsty.
I think I would. So it's like that. That's the one.
Same. Bloodthirsty.
Oh, yeah, because it's okay. Like we're not seeing like arms being ripped off and blood flying everywhere. The presence of fucking problem is ever present, but like it's not a bloodbath by any means.
Well, on the Gore scale, this determines how gory a film is. And did you feel like this was dry? Slaughterhouse? Somewhere in the middle? I have my own idea about how bloody this was, but what do you think?
I don't really think there was too much gore in this film. There is a massive amount of blood. I would say bloody. It's not really a gory film. You're not watching too many deaths. Just when the cook, I forgot his first name, when the cook gets axed, it's really not a lot of blood. You're not really seeing anything like crazy, but there is like massive amount of blood coming out of the elevator. So I say bloody.
Right. Yeah. So on the Gore scale, and let me get this so you can see.
I watch your stuff. I've seen this before.
So what would you rate this film on here?
In general, not as a werewolf film, right? Because I feel like that's like two different
We're things. Just talking horror movies.
Horror movies in general. Okay.
Yes. And obviously it's probably not going to be very high.
No, I would say bloody. I would just say bloody.
So, yeah. All right. On the Gore scale, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but what would you rate this film? Let's say dry or bloodthirsty, all the way up to slaughterhouse.
Yeah, so even though this movie is, considered one of the scariest, bloodiest craziest slasher movies, it really doesn't show too much blood, which is pretty awesome. And I appreciate that about it, because you feel like you see more. You feel like you see more guts and things than you actually do. So it's not dry, obviously, but I'd say it's like it wants to be more bloody, or it made itself more bloody than it is. So it'd be like bloodthirsty, probably, right? Can I see the thing one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah, bloodthirsty. Definitely, you can say bloody if you want, maybe, but probably bloodthirsty.
I would agree.
It's the Gore scale.
I love it. I mean, I would have to probably agree with you. I think it could probably use more blood. Just as like out of morbid curiosity, as far as your scale, have you what's a film that you rated grisly based off of that chart?
Grizzly?
That's your top one, right?
No, Slaughterhouse was the top one.
Oh, Slaughterhouse. What was the one you rated Slaughterhouse?
Slaughterhouse was that one that came out, because my top one for a while was the remake of The Evil Dead.
Yeah, that suits.
Because I mean, it's literally raining blood in that one, right? But then that one movie came out. It was, God, I own it. It was subtitled, and it was all the people were going crazy. It wasn't zombies.
Was it
yes,
The Sadness?
The Sadness.
Yeah.
The Sadness took it for the top spot because I mean,
that movie is horrific.
Yeah. In so many ways. So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but on the Gore scale, what would you rate this film from dry all the way up to Slaughterhouse?
I like your sign. I would have to say it's probably pretty savage. I like to think of myself as a gore whore, and I pride myself on loving blood, guts, and ass.
Yes.
and there is a wee bit of gore in there, especially with his buddy, and I would have to say it's probably pretty savage.
Okay. I was gonna go with bloody. It kind of leaves me. Okay, so this is our Gore scale, and it's kind of hard to see right
there. There
here.
you go. No, it's perfect right there.
But right here is where this movie falls.
Right at the very bottom.
This would probably be something like, I don't know, an Evil Dead or something Quentin Tarantino-esque. This movie had very little blood in it. It kind of let us down. It wasn't that gory at all. Again, this is just me trying to shout out, show love, and look back at some of the creators that I've had the pleasure of working with over the last year or so. So, thank you for being a part of my little horror community, and I hope to see you guys and work with you guys again in the future. Thank you for watching this episode of Blood Brews.